Okay, with the first one, we're just putting all of these different skills from this unit together. So this is not only scientific notation concept, but this is also the concept of changing fractions to decimals. Okay, so we learned how to change fractions to decimals a long time ago. Most of you have mastered this. If we want to change 3/500ths into a decimal, we got two options. We can either set up a division house. The first number always crosses the finish line first, gets inside the house, the last number gets stuck outside. So you could divide like this. The decimal would come up and we would need to put some zeros and so on. The other thing you can do that I think is probably the easiest is to say, well, I know that decimals and really scientific notation itself are always in forms of 10, whether it's 10 or 100 or 1,000. So when I have 500 as my denominator, I could very easily change that into a denominator of 1,000. How would I do that? 500 times what gives me 1,000? Well, 2. So if you multiply by 2 on the bottom, you got to multiply by 2 on the top. 3 times 2 is 6. That's exactly what you would have gotten here, because 6 times 500 is 3,000. Okay, so either way, you wind up with a decimal of 0.006, because 6,000ths is one place, two places, three places after the decimal. So that is how you'd wind up with a decimal. And now we just need to write that into scientific notation. So let me change my color here so we can see it a little bit better. I know I need the decimal to be here, so I'm going to have to move the decimal over once, twice, 3 times. So it's going to be 6 times 10, and I'm going to let you fill in that exponent. But remember, we moved it 3 places, and remember, this is a teeny, teeny, tiny decimal. If you have a positive exponent, you have a big honking number. This is not a big honking number. Okay, coming down here, we're mixing and matching some of these rules because we've got division, and we've got an exponent of 0, and we have a negative exponent. So let's clean this up, okay? So when we have x to the 4th on the top, he's happy where he is. But this dude is not. X to the negative 2nd power wants to go where he's not. He wants to go up to the top. So let's put him up to the top. And now he's happy. So he now has a positive exponent. And then we get to the c to the 0 power. What is anything to the 0 power? We've learned this, we've explained it, we looked at the pattern, why this happens, but we've learned, and you can go back to your I&B if you want to refresh your memory on why this is, but anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So instead of c to the 0 power, I really just have 1. And we can clean this up because x to the 4th times x to the 2nd is going to give me x to something. I'm going to let you do that. If you're not sure, just think x to the 4th is x times x times x times x. X to the 2nd is another 2 x's. Think about what that means. And we don't really need to write a 1, right? I mean, you can if you want to, but you're just wasting ink.